Hello, and welcome to another game of Steel Division 2 here on Cell. Today we have Hypokrass versus Fitz. Fitz coming in with the 5th Cavalerie Motorizată, and Hypokrass coming in with Gebirgs-Division, 5th Gebirgs-Division. Right, I'm not going crazy, this is also 5th, yeah, right here. So, down in the south here, SPW, MG42, Gebirgs-Division, Gebirgs-Sturmpanier, Gebirgs-Division, and the M42 Stug there. MG, Gebirgs-Division, 2 Sturmpaniers, a Führer, another Gebirgs-Sturmpanier that's been left behind. LG42, Gebirgs-Streif, Gebirgs-Division, another SPW AB 41, Gebirgs-Streif, Gebirgs-Jäger, the M42, and then up in the north, one more MG, Fusilier, that's with the ones with the snipers, very dangerous unit, Gebirgsführer, SPW AB 41, and another Stug. For Fitz's side, we do have 2 anti-tank rifles, Cavalerie, that's the leader there. The Beretta 47mm, Pioneer Assault, Rosori, Pioneer Cavalerie, another leader, Rosori, and Pioneer Assault. Luchs coming in as well, together with Rosori, Cavalerie, and a Pioneer Assault. Down the south here, the AT rifle gets forced off, but a Rosori in the middle here, 45mm here, and then a couple of units defending. However, the AT rifle did go down to the SPW AB1 and the 45mm actually just shooting at the sniper for now. But Stug's got to be a little bit careful. It does have the penetration to get through there, though I don't believe the AP shells are that powerful. Should be more than enough at like 1,000-meter range to kill that. IAR coming in from the north here as the Pioneer Assault is forced to smoke itself off. The units from Hypokrass here getting into position quite early. But IAR coming in for that. No AA out yet, though I wouldn't be surprised to see like a Phase 1 fighter call in as the Gebirgs-Division and the units here move forward. The AT gun actually haven't gone down to the Führer, maybe? Or perhaps the MG42 here. IAR does get its bombs off. Gebirgs-Division is forced to fall back as the Luchs comes in. Now, the SPW does have to be a little bit careful against the Luchs. But looks like the SPW actually gets the better of it. That 35 penetration of the Beretta does win out against the 35 armor there of the Luchs. It's interesting to see that because I don't think all the SPWs have that 35 penetration to be able to deal with light armor like that. I have seen it multiple times where like a 222 will win out against an SPW just because the 222 has more armor, or the 231. Rosori here being fired at by the Gebirgs-Division. The CB-53 China open fire as well, but the actually opens fire at the Gebirgs-Sturmpanier right before it can get into range of that machine gun, and does end up getting pinned down in that case. Another IR coming out to help clear against these infantry. Cavalerie out here also coming in, and now I would expect to almost see a Cavalerie versus Gebirgs-Division fight off. The 5th Cavalerie Motorizată getting a lot more Cavalerie than the Gebirgs Pioneers necessarily get a Gebirgs-Division, but IR gets the hit on and forces these Gebirgs-Streif falling back. It is 13-11 for now. Maverick versus Maverick, the Veltro not being able to shoot down that IAR just yet, and there's actually a Hypokrass here that has moved forward. 25mm just deployed in this position here to ward off further usage of the airplanes, or to even protect against his own airplanes, right? 47mm could sneak forward here, but there's a Gebirgs-Division coming that, and a Gebirgs-Streif here as well. That could help out. Hypokrass is going to get the better of that Veltro and force it to fall back. However, another Gebirgs-Division coming in, and now in this open range engagement, there's not really much here to stop even a probing push, right? And even in this position, there's also quite a few units here. However, Gebirgs-Sturmpanier first need to get across and into the other position to really be able to deal with this, but for the time being, no need for that. I would expect to see a mortar or something to come over here, provide smoke in this area, just so the Gebirgs-Sturmpaniers can push forward. On the hill here, SPW does force the Rosori to fall back. Bunch of 47mm coming in together with the Cavalerie. The 45 here actually getting caught out by the Gebirgs-Division. That 45 is going to need to fall back there. Stands no chance against a sniper. Especially not if the sniper's in the water like that, where HE does less damage. Roshori is going to get the jump on the Gebirgs-Division here, but it smokes itself off, and it's going to smoke again. Roshori is going to be forced to move. Order coming in to fire at the Gebirgs Streif over here. 2 more Gebirgsjäger and another Gebirgsstreif coming into the center position here. This Gebirgs-Division left very low on health. AB-41 sneaking into this position. That'll be very dangerous for these 2 units here. As the IAR makes another return. Now the SPW getting the better of the Cavalerie, so really just picking and choosing which units coming up against what. Cavalerie, however, still preventing good covering fire over here. Is in position to actually get shot at, but only by the MG42, so not actually in a lot of danger there. Providing good covering fire onto all these troops here. Does take a lot of suppression, funnily enough, from the dual MG42s here, so this is like Panzer gun power. Something that's often forgotten about the Gebirgsstreif is they do come in with those 2 MG42s, and that's necessarily what makes them more dangerous than their MP40s, right? SPW does go down, whether to the AT gun or the IAR, as we see even more 37mm coming in. A nice snipe from the anti-car here onto that unit. But it is spotted now by the Stogi M42. If he doesn't see this, this will go down. Ooh, on 1 health. Vulture coming in, though. Might get the shots in. No smoke coming down. Matchstook's likely going to find it. Roshori PM going to finish off the Sturmpioneer here. Even if it smokes itself off, it is just on 1 health, and the Roshori can fire within the 100-meter range just fine. So they've got plenty of DPM. IAR in the north, though. Actually, the Veltro is getting baited here over the 25mm. Will fall back now, but the IAR is out of position to be able to take advantage of that. The Veltro being a very fast plane. Another one coming out in hopes of just warding that off as the 47mm here takes out the AB-41. Wow. Another Cavalerie, another ABU SOR coming in. These are basically identical, I think, wouldn't they be? Yeah, it's just the Beretta 35. Interesting, interesting. There's an MG42 2-star up here, though not in position really to take advantage of much. Although I suppose it is in the tower. It might actually get some sneaky shots in there, just over the buildings. ZB-53, find out the Fusilier as the Cavalerie moves its way forward. And now the light armor has equalized up in the north here. There's still a Stug there. But, actually a Gebirgs Haubitze here. That's an interesting call, and these do have radio, and I used to be a big fan of them, back when 3rd Fallschirmjäger was kind of broken, with its 35-point Fallschirmjäger, but as it stands, these things have such a low rate of fire that, despite the fact that they can shoot for, like, 20 minutes or 10 minutes straight without eating supply or anything like that, it doesn't often really pay off as, yeah, unless you can get them within radio range, which I suppose is the target here. There's a Gebirgsfiller here, so the mortars can be howitzered, or the Hutch, or the AA that's coming in. 2 IARs versus the Veltro, though. Ooh, head-oning a Veltro is not a great idea, but one of them gets on the back here, and it does go down. This PF-110 also coming in to try and deal with the IAR. That might be very dangerous. Sorry, PM. With the PTRD here, if the ABU sort of moves forward, it actually gets the crit on that, as the Hotchkiss will unload and start forcing that 110 off. Gebirgs-Division up here versus a Cavalerie. Medium cover versus yellow cover, but the 45mm is holding its own. As we see a first Resitsa coming in. Yeah, quite the dangerous matchup, if I do say so myself. The Gebirgs-Haubitze is firing at the AA now. This one at the Cavalerie here, trying to deal with that. And they do aim relatively quickly. Like, there was a fairly fast aim time, I would say. They do come in at 1 star, so despite everything, they might actually not have that bad of an RPM, despite coming in at base 3. Might be worth taking another look at these personally, but yeah, not a big fan of them. You can see the first shot there, even with radio range, it barely does anything. You need to buy like 3 or 4 of these to really make the payoff, and they are 70 points, right? So when you consider the Italian howitzers, which one of them will do the job, doing the same thing for like 20 points, it gets kind of hard to justify. Is getting good damage on the Hotchkiss though, not falling back, just moving back, so bit of a mistake there. But we see also a Bofors coming in. Panzer II up here as well, hoping to ward off all this stuff, and like I said, Panzer II should win against the AB-41 here, but mostly depends on who fires first, I would suppose. IAR's coming in. There is no AA, this 20mm being the first call-in for now. These are likely going to get still value out of the LG-42. It is 13-11. LG does get taken out, so high value target there. Also the Gebirgs-Division here. And AA is really important versus the 5th Cavalry, or yeah, the 5th Cavalry. So I'm not sure who I would consider better in this situation, but from the looks of things, Hypokrass is doing a good job building up his forces for like some kind of a push, but at the same time, Fitz is very much capable of warding off all these attacks, right? As the ABU sword does have to be kind of careful. There is a Panzerschreck here hiding in the woods, but multiple 222s and now ABU swords coming forward. The AA does go down here. Short PM does manage to pin down the Gebirgs-Division. Another Stug coming in to the north here. Anti-car did go down. Now we finally see the AA. Now it's finally B phase. Maybe he didn't have any AA in A phase, really. But I would expect this fight to go down with the Shori kind of screening for these ABs. Ooh, does get hit by the Stug, though, as these Gebirgs-Haubitzen are now actually firing at the 75mm. They do get a good hit on target. That radio does come in useful, and no retreat there. Stug, however, giving covering fire against the Rashori here. The Gebirgs are getting the better of one of the light armored cars, and now the armored cars here are very much not looking too good. There is a secured position here with these Gebirgs-Sturmpioneer sitting here. And this unit goes down as well, potentially even giving this flag over. But reinforcements are coming in. IG-18 coming in as well. As now the Gebirgs-Haubitzen actually within, are they in radio range? Hard to tell. I believe the circle we saw earlier was a little bit lower, but with that much of or that accurate of a hit, it's kind of got to be. The 122s from the Romanians not bad either, in my opinion. They do, if you do bring them in with veterancy, they do get quite the high rate of fire, and they do have radios of their own, right? But as it stands, the Gebirgs-Haubitzen have radios on it, and they do not. It does not have radio for their return shots, right? So you need to push quite far up with some kind of radio and some kind of leader to get radio on these. Which are now firing at the Cavalerie, which is once again in the open versus a Gebirgs-Division. Very common to see these actually in the open doing that kind of work, but doesn't often pay off if your opponent also has big, bulky sniper squads. Rashitsa is still alive though, still goes down, but IGT and LG-40 here doing good work against the Rashori. As Pionieri comes forward, try and get into these woods. If the Gebirgs catches them out in the open, that'll very much hurt, I would say. Pionieri assault coming in for the Sturmpioneers, but 2 against 1, and these are the Gebirgs-Sturmpioneers, which have Berettas. The M1941 here, the Arita, it's not bad either, but no match against 150mm device. These 122s are also being brought in with supply right away, so Interesting to see that dual Berettas now firing this call-in to deal with these was a little bit too late to catch the AA, but this might actually still drop. It does retreat before it drops. Not sure why I wasn't going for it. But Berettas do ward it off for now. Just multiple ones firing at them, and this actually, because it veered through the middle, gotta be a little bit careful there. It's gonna be smoking. We won't be seeing that for a while. Even if it does escape, but it doesn't, and goes down. Kaboom. OB has recovered here, the artillery piece. It's still 13-11 for Hypokrass, as we are firmly into B phase now. Gebirgs-Division are coming in. These are also sniper squads here, I do believe. Just tons of snipers, really. And wow, these howitzers are actually doing a lot of work. Not something quite I expected to see, but Cavalerie versus the IG here, as the AB user also gets on target. Lots of AA though. These IAs should make it. This isn't too far forward in the AA zone, but it looks like they're gonna follow forward. Hopefully those Gebirgs Pioneer aren't forced to fall back though. I'm sure he can take advantage of that. AB user also getting good hits on the Gebirgs-Division here, as the Cavalerie gets into the building of its own. But howitzer already being fired at that, is going to force that to fall back. The counter battery now getting started, or was trying to deal with the AA from the looks of things, but the AA has moved. Is it the LG fire position? No. That would have been interesting to see. Pioneer does go down. There's a Gebirgs Panzer strike here. As long as the Cavalerie doesn't catch it. No, yeah. BF-110 gets the suppression on the Cavalerie, and the AB user goes down to the Panzer strike. Oop. Just gonna head on the IAR for a second there. Does manage to dodge out of the way just in time, but now the Hotchkisses and the Bofors are gonna have their turn at trying to shoot down a plane of Hypokrasses. It is smoking. A couple more crits there and it might go down, but from the looks of things, ooh, it does go down right at the last second there. That's funny. One of the howitzers went down. Huh. Two of the howitzers went down. So this counter battery definitely paying off. And you don't really need one good hit here to kill these things, which is another reason why I don't necessarily like using them. SK-18 coming out though. This is much better counter battery gun, just because of its base accuracy stats. You can put it fairly close, like somewhere over here, and then it'll still get a fairly low dispersion ratio even without radio or anything like that. The massive infantry here forces back the Pioneer though. Does get one TNT off, I think, but not long for the world here as the AB Orange slides forward and tries to get it in under the Stug, but Stug is going to get a shot off, and it does go down. Panzer II moves forward. Ooh, he's going to delete that Gebirgs-Division as another artillery piece gets invested. Lots of superfluous supply coming in. Like, sure, these guns won't ever run dry with this, but in a Maverick versus Maverick game, are you really expecting it to go that long? This one forced to fall back. Does get out of the way, though. SK-18 now on the counter battery, but this is just a counter battery war now. And as soon as this thing shoots, right, it will get the time to acquire an aim. And this one's also going to come in relatively short and help it out. But it is currently 3 guns to 3, and the Gebirgs subits it cannot be relied on for counter battery. It's just not accurate and not powerful enough, right? The SK-18 relies on its accuracy. The OB M30 here relies mostly on the splash damage because it is a 122mm, a bit higher caliber there. But yeah. The Luchs went down again, as you see even more artillery being brought in here. funny to see the Luchs just constantly lose to these SP41s. They are being microed quite well, as the Schütze slowly moves its way forward, potentially trying to get shots on this Stug. Just have to be somewhat careful, though. There are multiple MGs here, which I believe Fitz is hoping to deal with Cavalerie. Air coming in for the Gebirgs Pioneer here. There's enough 20mm to warn it off, I don't think, so we'll get its bombs off. Might actually go down, though. There are like multiple 20mm here, though. Only one of them appears to be shooting at the time. They were both on target for the entire time. This might go down. Might still go down, actually. These are fairly fragile. But does get out. Cavalerie, AB Horch versus the SPW now. Finally, we might see an AB go down. Does get shots on target first. Oh, I swear to God, if this gets another kill. Does go down, finally. And now with the Stug down here, these AB Horches are actually very, very dangerous. There's a Gebirgs-Division and a Gebirgs-Panzer, so they're not completely out of the green yet. But the Pioneer Cavalerie here are taking their attention. Still 13-11 for now. We do enter the last tick of, we do exit the last tick of B phase there. But now this gun falling back. This one's still doing good work. One of the OBs does go down. Another one down here still has not unloaded. So, 2 guns to 2 now. As long as this one doesn't unload. AB Horch did go down to the Gebirgs-Division or the Panzer in the morning, but the Panzer and the leader with the Panzer did go down. Gebirgs-Division is providing good covering fire onto this open position here. This town is actually very important, just specifically for dealing with this, but AB Horch is now rushing forward. There's a Rasitsa here. As long as that keeps moving forward as well, the Stug is not going to be a problem. But as it stands, that might be a very big danger. Mashori PM with the 2 TB-30s getting the better of the Gebirgs-Division there. Does unload finally, and the counter battery war starts. One of the supply trucks went down, but not really a big use there, as we do see the off-map go down here, the 170mm, on the side of Fitz. On this center position, there are a lot of troops here. Gebirgsstreif, Gebirgsfusilier, Gebirgspioneer. There's no fallback here, so no chance of really saving these units from the off-map. Potentially, I was hoping that they'll recover before anything really happens. 122 is getting on target, though. This one's already pinned down, so is this one. There's one more OB here. And the counter-battery war might actually go in the favor of Hypokrass, just because he's retreating his artillery units as soon as they're getting targeted, right? In an artillery war like this, if you see a unit getting targeted, the best thing to do is just fall back, right? Immediately hit the retreat button, and then the artillery gun is going to get the suppression, like reduced suppression for a while, which should help it survive the initial barrage, and then in its like retreated position, it can fall back. Ideally, what you would be doing though is, and this requires a lot of micro, so maybe not something we'll be seeing too much here, but the trucks here can be brought in to help micro them, right? I wouldn't necessarily want to do it with supply trucks because they're a little bit explodey and have a tendency to do so. And if you are fighting in a Maverick versus Maverick battle, a lot of players don't have the micro capabilities to really quite micro these guns in that kind of a way. But like you can pick them up with a truck, move them right after they're fired, and then by the time the counter battery comes in, they'll have moved, right? But you are then leaving a truck right next to your artillery piece, so if you forget it even once, it's going to be doubly dangerous. Stug right there, though, as the Rasitsa actually gets on target to the other Stug down in the south here. Ooh, is it going to get that last shot off? It is, but both the autocars actually went down. So the excellent infantry here might actually get the better of all this. There's a Begleitgrenadier here and a Pioneer Cavalerie, as well as the 45mm and another Cavalerie here, but as long as the Gebirgsstreif can get in range, not a whole lot you can do. Gebirgsstreif also providing good covering fire on this road. Rasitsa does go down to the dual MG42s here. Gebirgsfusilier versus Begleitgrenz. Yeah, this is within the medium range, but they do, unfortunately, the Stug providing good covering fire there. Gebirgs Fusilier does get the better of them. They do also have G43, so not the worst at medium range. Is going to be falling back. Gebirgs Pioneer, though, versus Begleitgrenadier now. Kind of hope that the Pioneer Cavalerie gets there before the Gebirgs Pioneer, but what might end up happening is the Gebirgs Pioneer throws its grenade at the Begleitgren, and then the Pioneer Cavalerie coming in to finish that off. Does get the jerry can bomb off. Does suppress halfway. I'm not a fan of these Gebirgs Pioneer. They do good suppression, though, so actually retreats right away and avoids the TNT just from the ooh, what's it called? Alright, the suppression from the Begleitgrenadier enabled the Pioneer to fall back here. Both these units are suppressed. The Aufklärer did go down, but there's still multiple MG42 units in here to clean this up. This gun's also being suppressed. This one's not firing, this one's not firing. These SK-18s have done a lot of work. As now, with the hill secured, 25 minutes into this game, it looks like Hypokrass is in the driver's seat. So, can Fitz really pull back here against the just crazy onslaught of units here? There's just so many, right? The center position is at risk. There's no AT down here. There was a Stug somewhere over here that is providing covering fire from here, but this position goes down, and now with all the troops that here gone down that advanced from here earlier, there's nothing to stop units basically rushing forward even. Oh, there's a AB Horch coming in now. I expect a slow calculated push though with potentially even AT guns to come through here. It looks like for now it's just a bunch of other units. Gebirgs Pioneer and Gebirgs gonna clean up the Cavalerie and then the artillery commander after that. Yeah, it is looking rather dire. So, why don't we say we go to 2-speed. And, yeah, not a lot to hold out for here. Still kills the AB Horch. This light armor really coming in very well as this flag also goes down. For the time being, 14-10. As long as there's a Pack 40 coming in. But, yeah, SK-18's doing good damage, and again, with these artillery pieces not falling back, it's not really what you want to see. AB Horch advancing right up to the front here, potentially hoping that these Beretta cars can do something. They do have quite a bit of penetration on them, and they do get AP shells, so double teaming the AB Horch, that might actually go down. Stug, though, getting the better of the units in this position here. To Gebirgs Fusilier moving forward. Gebirgs coming forward to secure this flag as well. That'll put them to a 15-9. AB Horch does go down. Gebirgs Fusilier gets the better of that. Just advanced forward and moved up. Other IAR coming in, but that is fairly close to the 20 mils. Does get its bombs off. And now, 45 mil goes down. Gebirgs Fusilier, 2-star MG42. The Lieutenant Artillery doesn't stand much of a chance. So Stug has to be careful here. This Gebirgs could just march up to it and pop a Panzerfaust on it. This flag goes down. Looks like Fitz briefly recovered another flag. Gebirgs actually gonna walk right past the Stug. Maybe he doesn't see it. Off map coming in. Interesting that we didn't see this earlier. Maybe he has like a B or C face card even. And drops it onto a position. Well, there's a push materializing here, but hard to say if that'll be quite effective. He does have 20 minutes to turn this around, right, to equalize it. But if you get around the 40-minute mark and you're not on like a 15-9, you can basically count it goodbye. You do need to push quite aggressively, even if you do manage to come back because of the 50-minute lead time limit. This fight goes down, 14-10 again. Off map comes down, does land fairly good. If that Stug goes down, it'll be well worth it. Pioneer Cavalerie and the 45mm moving forward now. Doesn't have its HE turned off, so it's just going to be forced to fire and stuff there. Begleitgrenadier moving forward though. The AB Horch goes down to the Pack 40. We're sure he's surrounded now. Got to take extra suppression. Supply truck moving forward. Another AB coming in, but there's just not enough reinforcements really to stop all this. The move would have been to counter off-map right after the off-map came down over here, I think. But hard to say what would have saved the game at this stage of the game. We're going to go back down to the Gebirgs-Division. The 105 actually doing good work this game, but the SK-18s having basically taken care of all the OBs. Normally I would have given the benefit to the OBs, but they have had a accuracy nerf at some point, so, or some kind of nerf of some point. They went from like the best counter battery gun in the game to mediocre at best, and it kind of hurt. I'm not gonna lie, as a Rima enjoyer, which does kind of have to use these if you do run out of 155s. Gebirgs are rushing into this position though. They are very good at the short range as well as medium range, so very much better than Roshori there. Luchs coming in, but the Pak 40 is on the move. Luchs is gonna walk right into a Panzerfaust if it's not careful. And the IARs or the BF Model 9s are not very good strafing vehicles, I must say. Yeah. Might force these units back for the time being without that Luchs, but there was still an AT in there and little hope of a comeback. This position, after it does recover, there's even more Gebirgs here. Pushes materializing. Just out in the open. The Glycan is on 2 health. We'll do quite a bit of damage if it catches these Gebirgs in the yellow cover here, but maybe not before it goes down. Alright, 2-star. Does kill 1 unit, but now it's only 1 health. And it's going to get shots on target to the other one, but the MD-42 takes it out there. This position is still in the hands of Hypokrass. Yeah, and Fitz surrenders. So, 3,455 kills to 2,600 losses. Interesting game there. I would say the map sort of favored Gebirgs-Jäger. I would just say that the 5th Cavalry does not have the units really to sustain that kind of a long cell fight. And now a lot of people, obviously, Cell being a close quarters map, a lot of people would think like something like the Pioneer Cavalerie together with the, we didn't see a lot of them, but 5th Cav does get excellent flamers, would help win the day. But really, in my opinion, Cell is more of a medium range map if you want to play it that way. You've got a ton of yellow cover to work around the green cover with, particularly on that south side of the map. As we saw today, MP44 is kind of just ruling the land there. So, yeah. Gebirgs coming out on top. Well, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.